Aladin and his magical lamp. Contents. Chapter 1. A Magic Uncle. There was once a lazy boy named Aladin. His dad, who had to run the family business alone, died a worry. Aladin's mother was in despair. One day, Aladin was messing around as usual when a man came up to him. "Aladin," he cried, "it's me, Uncle Abanazar, your father's long-lost brother." "I didn't know I had an uncle. I've been away for many years." That evening, Aladin's new uncle invited himself to supper. When he heard that Aladin didn't have a job, he brought him a fancy store to run. Aladin and his mother were very happy. Neither of them guessed Abanazar was really a wicked magician. The next day, Abanazar took Aladin on a long walk out of the city. "Here we are," said his uncle at last. He lit a fire, threw some powder on it, and said some strange word. A trapdoor made of stones appeared in the grass. Aladin was astonished. His uncle could do magic. "Under the stones there are many treasures, but only wants one," said Abanazar. "Bring me the lamp." "But, uncle—" "No buts. Take this ring. It will protect you," he added, pushing Aladin down the steps. Aladin went through 4 rooms of gold into a garden of fruit trees. The fruit sparkled like pieces of grass. He saw the lamp, stuffed it into his pocket, then picked handfuls of the pretty fruits. "Hand me the lamp," cried Abanazar from the entrance. But Aladin has taken too long to find it. Abanazar thought he'd been tricked. "How dare you keep the lamp for yourself?" Before Aladin could answer, there was a loud thud and everything went dark. Chapter 2. 2 Genies. Aladin was trapped. It was cold, dark, and very spooky. He rubbed his hands to keep warm. Suddenly, a huge man rose in front of him. "I am the genie of the ring," he boomed. "What can I do for you?" "Wow!" "Get me out of here!" shouted Aladin. In a flash, he found himself outside of the grass. He rushed home to tell his mother what had happened. "Abanazar can't be my uncle. He did magic things and tried to kill me," he cried. "You and your stories," said his mother. "Now, what do you want for supper?" "I'll sell that old lamp to buy some food." He started to polish the lamp and jumped back in fright as the giant's man floated out. "I am the genie of the lamp. Your wish is my command." "Do you have any food?" asked Aladin. "I'm starving." In an instant, a huge feast appeared on silver plates. The food and wine lasted for a week. When it had gone, Aladin sold the silver plates. "I'll give you a good price." "My price is better." Now life was easy. If Aladin or his mother wanted food, Aladin just rubbed the lamp and asked the genie. One day Aladin was on market selling plates when he saw something sparkling jewels. "They're just like the grass fruit I picked in the cave," he thought in amazement. It wasn't grass after all. He went straight home, found the jewels he'd picked in the cave, and hid them. Chapter 3. The Sultan's Daughter. Early one morning, there was a command from the Sultan. "Princess Vada Bodo will go to the public baths today. Everyone must stay at home." Aladin wondered what the fuss about. He hid at the bath so he could see the princess for himself. When she lifted her veil, Aladin almost fainted. The only female face he'd seen before was his mother's, but Princess Bada was beautiful. He skipped home with starry eyes and a silly smile. "Whatever does matter?" asked his mother. "I'm in love with the Sultan's daughter," he sighed. "I must marry her." His mother laughed, but Aladin was serious. "If I don't marry Bada, I'll die," he said. He begged his mother to ask the Sultan for his daughter. "Take him these jewels as a gift," he added. "The Sultan will never agree," cried his mother, but she was very worried about her son. "So she did as he asked." The Sultan lived in a grand palace. On her first visit, the Sultan didn't even look at Aladin's mother, but she went back again and again until, finally, he spoke to her. "Why do you keep coming to my palace?" She told the Sultan about her son's love for Princess Bada. "We're not worthy about your greatness," she mumbled. "But here is a small gift. I've never seen jewels so big." "Bada does need a husband," the Sultan said. "But you said my son could marry her," cried the thin man beside him. The man was a powerful lord called a vizier. He whispered something in the Sultan's ear. Then the Sultan turned to Aladin's mother. "Your son can marry my daughter in 3 months' time," he said. "I'm going to marry the princess. I don't trust that vizier." Chapter 4. The Wrong Husband. 2 months later, Aladin's mother was in the city. Everyone was talking about a royal wedding. "Princess to marry vizier's son today," shouted a herald. Aladin's mother rushed home to tell Aladin the bad news. He was very upset, until he remembered the genie of the lamp. He ordered the genie to disturb the couple that very night. "Put the vizier's sons out in the cold and bring Princess Bada to me." At midnight, the genie brought Bada to Aladin's house and left the vizier's sons in the dark, damp street. "Help! I won't hurt you. You're safe in me," said Aladin softly. Before sunrise, the genie returned Bada and the vizier's son to their room. "What's wrong?" asked Bada's parents at breakfast. "You look awful." Princess Bada kept very quiet. That evening the vizier's sons prayed for a peaceful night's sleep. But at midnight the genie came again. After another cold night on the street, the vizier's sons had had enough. "I'm sorry, Sultan," he said. "Your daughter's wonderful, but I can't cope with these horrible nightmares." "Ah, well, it wasn't meant to be," replied the Sultan, and he ended to marry. Chapter 5. Aladin gets married. Before long, Aladin's mother went back to see the Sultan. "Tell your son to send me more jewels," he told her. "I want 40 plates full," he went on, "carried by 80 servants, deserted with incense. Only then can Aladin marry Bada." The genie managed this easily. Within an hour, a long procession was on its way. The Sultan couldn't believe his eyes. "Tell your son he can marry my daughter right away," he told Aladin's mother. But first, Aladin wants a home to Bada. He described his perfect palace to the genie, and the genie built it overnight. Marble floors, jewels in the whales. Aladin rode to the Sultan's palace, dressed in his finest clothes. The wedding day began with music and dancing and finished with feasting and fireworks. That evening, Bada went to her new home. She was delighted. Aladin was the most handsome man she'd ever seen, and their palace was the best in the world. Chapter 6. Abanazar returns. Far away in the desert, Abanazar learned of Aladin's good fortune. "He must escape with the lamp," he snarled. He went on Aladin's city to find the lamp. "New lamps for old," he shouted. "New lamps for old." Badas heard the shouts from her palace. "That sounds good." She trotted and found an old lamp to give him. Abanazar ran to a quiet corner and rubbed the lamp. "What can I do for you?" asked the genie. "Take me, the palace, and the princess to the middle of the desert," said Abanazar. After that morning, the Sultan looked from his window and nearly fainted. "My daughter's palace had gone," he said. He thought Aladin had tricked him and sent some soldiers to arrest him. Aladin returned from a hunting trip to find a group of soldiers and no palace. He was in a surprise at the Sultan. "Don't worry, I'll find your daughter," he promised. "You'd better, or else you're dead." Aladin clapped his hands together in despair, and the genie of the ring appeared. "Oh, I've forgotten about you," said Aladin. "Please help me." "I can't bring Bada to you," he replied, "but I can take you to her." Seconds later, Aladin was beneath Bada's window. "A wicked man tricked me." "Don't worry," Aladin called. "I have a plan. Agree to eat with him tonight. I'll sneak in with some potion, and you can put in his wine." Abanazar was so busy gazing at Bada, he didn't see her potion and drink. After one sip, he fell to the ground and died. Aladin searched up the palace for his lamp. 1 wish later, he and Bada were home. Chapter 7. The Evil Brother. But they still weren't safe. Abanazar had an evil brother, and he wanted revenge. The brother dressed up as Fatima, a holy woman. He stood outside Aladin's palace pretending to heal people. Bada was very excited to see Fatima and invite her inside. "What a lovely hall," said the fake Fatima. "But if you hang a roc's egg from the dome, it will be even better." The rock was an enormous bird which laid huge white eggs. Badas loved Fatima's suggestion and asked Aladin. "No problem," he said, and called the genie of the lamp. "Bring me a roc's egg." "What? Anything but that," wailed the genie. "If you ask for such a thing, I must kill you." "But I wasn't your idea," he went on. "Fatima is really Abanazar's brother in disguise. He wants you dead." Aladin was shocked. He had to think fast. "Oh, my head's so sore." He asked Fatima to heal his headache. As the evil brother came closer, Aladin grabbed his dagger and killed him, with no more evil men to bother them. Aladin and Bada were safe. In time, Aladin became Sultan and his mother became a grandmother. They had all they could wish for, so the lamp and the ring were left in the tower. Who knows? The genies may still be there today.